Gavin, speaking of giant pits of money, Stadia launches tomorrow, and reviews are coming in.
What are people saying?
It's pretty. It's fair to like, hey, there's something here, but it doesn't work now. It's not worth it now. That's the vibe I get. So I pulled some quotes from different outlets. This is from Kotaku. Paul Tamayo of Kotaku writes, ultimately, I'm left feeling lukewarm on Stadia. Playing in Chrome, capture resolutions at 1080p, and it's not really wireless with your phone, and there are a ton of missing features that people will just have to wait for. But when it works, you do get a glimpse of what being able to play games across multiple screens can look like. And you know what? That's pretty darn cool. We have IGN's Kevin Lee. Is Google Stadia good? That's a question on everyone's mind with the game streaming service launching today. And after a week of testing it out, I can say yes it is. But, and there are several big buts about it, with at least 15 of Stadia's promised features still on their way.
The two O's in Google are those two cheeks. Big butt.
Yeah. I'm going to clap back at you. It's probably worth waiting a while before jumping onto Google's game streaming service. If we have to score it now, 6 out of 10. That's the thing with scoring it now. It's like reviewing YouTube. Right. It's like a changing, system. But.
Well, it's also kind of weird because this is, not very many people have access to it right now. You had to pay a bunch of money to get that.
Yeah, with the Founders Edition and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. So, this is when it's going to be performing at its best.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
Not everyone's on it. So it should be less lukewarm. It should be like, yeah.
Right.
And then in addition, it's sort of this weird kind of who it's for, because you have to pay a bunch of money for this edition.
Mm-hmm.
And those people willing to pay a bunch of money for this stuff probably already have a kick-ass PC.
That's the thing. And I read that in a lot of these articles. It's like, I don't know who this is for, because, yeah, the ideal experience is just playing on your console at home, on your PC at home. So where does this fit into your life with needing something like this?
Right.
I really like the idea, and I guess they're working on it in the future, the possibility of renting these titles, because that's the thing with Google Stadia. You're right.
So good.
With Google Stadia at the moment, you have to. This is just you pay for access to buy these games and stream them online. It's like, but you're paying at the start of it retail prices for like Red Dead 2 and Borderlands. It's like if there's some kind of deal involved or a renting option, that's where I think this thing can shine.
Yeah, and you can't pirate any of those games on there through that medium. I don't know if you ever did this. We had a buddy, definitely not admitting to a crime right now, but we've
done that several times.
My buddy had a modded Xbox, and so we'd rent games and just install them to the Xbox and then take them back.
Sure, but you can't really download anything when it's streaming. Like
you don't have anything downloaded. You're just getting the pretty pictures. You can frame them.
Yeah, in 4K, glorious 4K. So it's kind of lukewarm, and there's possibility there, but there's nothing yet. So, but that's the downside is you need early adopters to kind of start growing the service. So can Google hang on? Will they hang on long enough to see this thing grow? Or like other things they've done, will they just kill it after a while?
It also still weirds me out, like how many Twitch reaction games are on here. Like the first one I'm seeing, Destiny 2, you gotta have like precision. Like you want to be running that at 60.
Right.
Farming Simulator, go ahead and run that at 2 seconds of lag.
Yeah.
What else is there? Grid, a racing game.
You
Mortal
got Just
Kombat.
Dance?
Yeah, the fighting games. Some of that stuff. It's so Twitch.
Right.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Thumper. I still don't think that's going to be possible to play.
It'd be interesting. I'd like to see when this gets in the hands of the general public, and it launches tomorrow. So I want to see them stress testing all these titles.
That's the general public?
Yeah. So tomorrow's the actual release date. These are early reviewers
okay, but tomorrow is still like the people that paid a boatload.
Well, for the founders, the $130 edition of it, yeah.
So that's who they need to impress. That's who they need to get other people.
Yeah, they did. They announced recently the original the original launch game list was 12 games. They bumped up to 22 just on Sunday. So as Jeff Keighley just tweeted, like, "Hey, there's more games on Stadia." Like, okay, but that's the way they announced
Stadia
it.
Saying that.
Right, it was very weird. But I don't know if that was a reaction or what happened. But they released a couple more titles. But it's kind of rough. Although I think the whole thing with this idea is that it's more of a long run kind of situation. I just hope that they can stick on to to work through all the kinks.
It's interesting though to look at it and see like these are a bunch of different engines. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm pretty sure is its own proprietary engine.
Yep.
The Samurai Showdown might be.
We have like Assassin's Creed doing Unity, right? Which is Destiny 2. We're doing whatever they do.
Wolfenstein, Youngblood, like there are definitely some different engines in here, so that's a good, that means it's probably not that hard to port to, regardless of what engine you're using. So that's good. It's like making a game for a PC.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, it's interesting. We'll see how that goes, but